Okay, here's all the cards. 6-deck blackjack. Dealer stands on all 17. Blackjack pays 3-2. No surrender. Shoe 5 of Stearn versus flat betting. Still having trouble getting some of the shoes uploaded all in one piece. The ones where I had to stop and get the second deck. Still giving me trouble, but I must have gotten them up by now if you're seeing this video or figured something out. So anyways, so Stearn is fun. I'm not sure how well it's working out. Now perhaps I'm not doing it exactly the way you're supposed to. I need to still actually look at all of that again. You know, because I keep getting past the 9th level. And maybe you're supposed to get up and leave, but it just, I haven't been able to figure out what Stearn intends at those, when that happens, when you get on those really bad losing streaks, and it keeps happening. And like I keep saying, when that happens, I wish that they just would have said simply one sentence out of, you know, it's many pages of stuff, and it's not all for blackjack, it's for craps or roulette and things like that too. But just one sentence, you know, if you lose at level 9, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to quit? You're supposed to keep betting at the same level as the same wager amount as level 9? You're supposed to keep doubling? It doesn't say. So I had to make it my own way, and it hasn't really been working out for Stearn in that way. I think, you know, Stearn, I think there's a lot of potential. It, you know, as long as you don't get those really nasty losing streaks, I think it could work well. Of course, don't blame me if you decide to play it and it ends up and you lose everything. That's not my responsibility. I'm just saying, it seems like it has nice potential. Look, we'd have to really, once we're done with the series, we'll be able to look at, you know, per hand expectations in the summary, the way we've done for the other betting systems. Keeps you on your toes, that's for sure, because it has so many parts. It's a negative progressive, it's a parlay, it deviates from basic strategy, really just a little. Not as much deviation from basic strategy as I thought it would be. You know, I do have the other shoe on standby. Stuck. Get out of there. Ready to be mirrored if need be. It's happened a couple of times, and then what actually is strangely happened is things ended up getting back in sync. Twice. When it went out of sync, they synced back up again, which was, I thought, really kind of weird. I didn't really expect that, and I wouldn't expect that to always happen. I don't think. That in itself would be a whole nother study. Yeah, so what I do is if needed, I mirror this shoe with a deck of blue cards for those instances where, and I guess they're rather rare, where basic strategy would have you double down or split, and the Stearn strategy would not have you double down or split. And so, you know, one side ends up taking more cards than the other. which is changing the natural flow of the cards, similar to when you're playing with somebody. I'm sure this has happened to you, and hopefully it hasn't been you. Hopefully it hasn't been you that has done this, but you know, when somebody deviates from basic strategy, everybody at the table moans and groans, and you know, they end up taking the dealer's bust card, or end up, say, you know, like they bust themselves, or and then it ends up giving the dealer a winning hand, something like that. Or you know, sometimes they take they take the card that would have given the dealer like a 21, and then the next card that the dealer gets is a bust card, and so everybody wins on that hand. Suddenly the person who deviated is the hero. But so you won that one hand, that's nice. There's more hands to go. How did taking that extra card, or not taking the card that you're supposed to take, affect the remainder of the shoe? So in conducting this test, I'm trying to look at it, you know, while I want to compare them head to head on the same hand as much as possible. I also want, since Stearn does deviate from basic strategy, when it happens, I want to look at it more from a higher level, for the whole shoe. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. Made sense to me. That's why I bother doing it. It's extra work, of course. If I have to mirror this deck, or shoe, I should say, with another shoe, on the first shoe, I mirrored it after the shuffle. After that, I realized I don't have to do it until it's needed, because on that first shoe I didn't need it, and on other shoes I haven't needed it, but I think maybe once or twice I have had to use it. So I'm not going to do it until I need it. It's obviously a lot slower for me to deal from two separate shoes, so it saves us all time. That's a good thing, right? And plus, it takes me a lot of work to mirror them up. And if I only have to mirror, you know, a portion of the shoe, that's big time saver. There's a player cutting the deck, or the shoe, I should say. 75 to 80% penetration right there. It has been giving us at least 45 hands. Playing heads up against the dealer every single time. Here are the chips, or the units. Each side starts with 50 units instead of dollar amounts. One unit would be $5 at a $5 table, or $10 at a $10 table, etc. Or however you're betting. You could be at a $5 table, but you're betting at, you know, $15 units. So that's how. So one unit for you in that situation would be $15, or however you're doing it. That's up to you. Okay, so each side gets 50. Say one unit burn card, 1 unit minimum, 100 unit max. Neither side will get there. Flat betting plays by regular basic strategy. I have all the Stearn information over here on the sheet. Both hands play on the same, or both betting systems play on the same hand, unless there is a deviation, and which I'll cover later. Ace check, it's not there. A 13 hits to a 10, 23, that's a bust. I keep track of the number of hands that we run. I keep track of the Stearn, 17, the Stearn loss column. You'll see that as we get going. It's important. Well, now that Stearn lost, let me just quickly bring it up. Here's all the information we need. Take a quick look. Pause if you need to. Here is the betting progression. Every time you lose, you move down a spot. Where this number here that shows which position that you're in is important, because that is used when determining if you split or double down, depending on what you have, what level you're in here, and then what the dealer has. Past level 7, so levels 8 and 9, you would not double down, and you would not split. Okay, so Stearn gets a little bit more conservative in that regard. Anyways, Stearn is position 2, still a wager of 1. And basic strategy would double down an 11 to a 2, and let's just verify, so just to show you how this works. You have an 11 right there. You're at level 2, so you're in this column. You double down an 11 from anything from a 2 to a 9, which is a little bit different than basic strategy. You would double down to a 10, but not an ace in regular basic strategy. Okay. Okay, so that is 13, 11, 17. Position 3 for Stearn is still a wager of 1 unit. The way that Stearn works is whenever you win, the first win, you parlay or press your bet, but not a blackjack bonus or extra pays from multiple wins and splits and double downs. You just take those off the table as a bonus. 8 hits, 12 hits again, 14 hits again. Card counters, do we hit this? We do anyways. 20, verifying, okay, good. 15, good thing you hit that. 20, push. So as the way we do this in all the different betting systems, it's a repeat of the wager and position. It's as if nothing happened. Anyways, when Stearn wins, Stearn will parlay the base bet and look to win that one. So it needs to win 2 in a row. If it loses, 13 stands to a 3. Then you continue to move down in the progression just like a normal loss. 4, 14, 12, 22. So there's 1 back out of the loss column for Stearn, which he will now parlay. So it is possible, and it took me a little bit to figure this out, it is possible for Stearn to close insurance closed, neither side takes insurance. It's possible for Stearn to 13 hits to an ace, to 21, very nice, most important card in the game, to close the cycle at a loss, 17. So there, get the 2 back from your loss column, and you completed the cycle. I'm not sure if it's break even or if I think one of those was a win that you pressed and then lost. So it's possible with Stearn to close your cycle losing money. Then the big question is what to do when you get way down in the cycle, and that's what we've been coming up against in other shoes. 14 stands, 9, 20, starting the cycle over, or well, losing the first hand of the new cycle for Stearn. We'll see if we get there with Stearn, like I was saying, if we get far enough down in the progression where we start having problems with it. 13, most important card again, 21. Those that keep watching me know that I think that the 8 is the most important card in this game. It either saves you or kills you. It's either what you want or what you don't want. Position 3 for Stearn, still a wager of 1 unit. A little ace check here. Come on. Not there. 16 hits to a 10. 17, you stand there. 15. 25. 1 back for Stearn. And Stearn will, excuse me, Stearn will parlay. Now I'm going to, usually they need to be stacked up right like this, but to help me keep track of where you are, you see, this is your position 1, that's position 2. That's your position 3 bet. So this is position 2 parlay. Because if you lose that, then I take it off like this, and then it shows me that you are you would go to position to level 4. Actually, that would be, that was your 3. Yeah, that was 3. That's position 3 parlay. So when I bring it off, it helps me keep track. But hopefully you just win. But like I'm saying, just to let you know how I'm keeping track, in the casino, they're not going to be so nice as to keep this little loss column over here for you. You're going to have to do it for yourself. 15 stands, 12, 9 is a, oh sorry, a 3 is 9 plus 6 is 15, 23. Yep, there it is. Important card. Although, of course, other cards would have busted the dealer. So there's the one from your loss column, plus 1. So, you know, if you're going to play regular basic strategy, I say take the card with you. If you're going to play Stearn or Fibonacci, you take a piece of paper and a pencil with an eraser so that you can take notes, as well as check against strategy, especially Stearn being a little bit different. 18, 17. So that's a win for Stearn. Now, this was first position for Stearn, and this took me a little while to figure out as well. You also press Stearn from position 1. And what this will do is will give you, or you parlay, if you win, you'll end up going up by 3 units if you get 2 consecutive wins from first position. Okay, by the way, that was the first 10 hands. Expecting at least 45. Feels like things are going a little bit faster here today. I hope so, because I know they've been getting a little bit long. Thanks for being patient. 20 stands, 16, 17. So, just like I said, there's 2 more for Stearn. Starting with 1 unit, ends up leaving up by 3, completing the progression, which was barely a progression at all, but back to position 1, single unit wager. Now, they say that Stearn, you can start with you know, a very low amount, and it does so well that you know, will make so much money. That hasn't exactly been happening for us. There's no blackjack there. 17, 12, 21. It's kind of like blackjack the roundabout way. Position 2 for Stearn, single unit still. I'm stuck here in the shoe. Okay. 20 stands, 19. So Stearn gets back from the loss column. So this is, we're called position 2 parlay. That's helping. Just call it out. Helps me keep track. Now, basic strategy, you always split 8s. And you always split 8s in Stearn levels 1 through 5. Now we're level 2, so we will split. I'm going to keep these offset here. Now, should we win, only one of these hands, well, we're not down in the loss column, so it wouldn't matter, but only one of these would be counted. If you win them both, only one of them would count as you know, working your way back through the loss column, and would be the only one you press. The other one would just be like a bonus payment, which is different from how we did paroley. Paroley, we would press the whole thing, and the reason why I would press it in paroley and not in things like Fibonacci is because otherwise paroley becomes a 1-2-4 kind of system, which is not exactly, you might as well just play 1-2-4 and not call it paroley. Anyways, resplitting 8. So I forgot to put out the other unit for the flat better there. Okay, we're all good. I'm going to keep offsetting these so I don't get confused. Can you see? I know things get tight here. Probably not going to have to keep splitting much more than that. But you never know. This one first. 18, you're good there. This one. 11, you will double down. Both sides will to a 6. Single card. 21, this one. 17, you're good there, right? Okay, good luck. 16, that's what you want to see. Just enough. Very nice, very nice. So, 1 there, 2 there, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and 1 and 2. Now, like I said, this was right at the beginning, you're not down in the loss column so far that some of these winnings would be taken extra out of the loss column. You could do that. That's kind of up to you. That's not how we do it. Perhaps we'll see that happen, or perhaps we won't. It has happened on other shoes, so make sure you watch all of those. I'm just going to clean them all up. Stearn completed the cycle for a considerable gain, obviously, and the flat better made a nice multiplier of gains. Anyways, Stearn position 1 unit. Oh, that's it. All right, Stearn position 2, still single wager. $16 is going to need to hit to a 9. 26, that's too many. 12. Position 3 for Stearn, still single unit. Do a little ace check here. Oops. 13 hits to a 10. 21. There it is. What do I keep telling you? How important that card is. 20. 1 back from the loss column for Stearn. He's still down by 1. He's going to parlay right there. Flat better, of course, only bets 1 unit. So this is position 3 parlay for Stearn. And blackjack. Well, let's just make sure. Okay. Now, 1 1/4. I mean, a half. That is, I meant to say that is a quarter, but it represents a half of a unit. Stearn gets back from his loss column. Then another one, because he's already at the parlay. Oops. So that just gets evenly stacked now. And then the one on top for the blackjack bonus payment. 12. Okay, and so just like that, Stearn starts over again. Position 1 unit. For the moment, Stearn is doing better than the flat better. Well, look at that, back to back. Who's your friend now? Where's my tip? Should have tipped me after those split 8s with the double down. But you didn't. I'll just take from you. Just kidding. Cameras are watching. All right, again. Oh, so Stearn is going to this position 1. He's going to parlay, but he's not going to. We're not going to have him parlay that half of a unit. Sort of like we do in Fibonacci, but not how we would do it in Paroley. You can watch that series. This is position 1 parlay. 17 will stand to a 10. 19. Okay. So Stearn going to position 2. Single unit, even though he's down 2 units. Okay. That's another 10 hands. That's 20. Now you might think, oh, well, if Stearn is down by 2 and he's only wagering 1, how's he going to get it all back? Well, if he wins, then he gets 1 back from his loss column, and then he parlays. So then he has 2, and if he wins that, then he'll get back the other 1 from his loss column plus 1. Okay. It's a very interesting way they have it figured out. Which is what makes it, like I said at the outset, negative progressive, but also kind of positive progressive, because of that parlay. 9 hits to a 10, 19, 20. Well, so just like that, Stearn moves right into position 3, still a wager of 1 unit. Now, let's just, he's down 3. If he wins 1 and parlays, then he would get those 2. So it's like he would come out even, kind of like Fibonacci. Except one of these is also a win, remember, because he won and parlayed and then lost. So he's actually still going to be up 1. It's very interesting. An 18 stands to a dealer 9, 15, 16, too many. 1 back for Stearn. And now Stearn is position 3 parlay. A win here will close him out. A loss here will move him to position 4. A push would just be a repeat. It's good odds for a push with a 20. Nope, 13, 23, and Stearn gets back to 2. So like I said, he's going to end up closing for the gain of 1 because one of these was a parlayed win, but then was lost on the parlay. And back to the beginning for Stearn. Position 1. 20 stands. 16. 26. Oops. And position 1 parlay for Stearn. Pair of 2s. 2 of 10. Can't imagine anybody would split that. I'm just going to check. Now, you'd only split 2s for 2 to a 7 in Stearn against in levels 1 to 5. Yeah, no, it's not a split anywhere. Just making sure, because I'd hate to screw it up and then you'd all yell at me. But instead, you're going to give me a thumbs up, right? So 4, 10, 18. That's good, right? 12, 17. So let me get some change, please. You have all my whites there. So that was position 1 parlay for Stearn. So he gets that right there. Gain of 3 units as he closes the cycle. So if you start with $5 and you get 2 in a row, you leave with $20. Gain of 15. Or whatever multiplier table limit you're playing at, or unit translation you're playing at. 12 to a 6 stands. 10, 21. That feels like real blackjack right there, doesn't it? Position 2 for Stearn. $12 stands to a dealer. 5, 7, 17. Yeah, this is real blackjack. Dealer has a crappy up card and outdraws you. Position 3 for Stearn. Pair of 4s to a 3. I don't think so. Yeah, with Stearn, pair of 4s, you'd only split levels 1 through 6 to a 5 or a 6. You see that? Just showing you, just to kind of help everybody understand how that works. And pair of 4s to a 3 in basic strategy is also just a hit. So, no need for second shoes here. Well, he could have kept splitting. That's a 12. A 12, both sides does hit to a 3. A lot of people don't like that. If you don't believe me, look at the card. Here we go. 19. Ooh. Evil number 8. And what's that make? 17. So you win. Good for you. That's a position 3 parlay for Stearn. Soft 14 to a dealer 10. Let's just make sure we don't have an ace under there, and we don't. Is a hit. That's a hard 14. Need to hit that again. Hard 16. Need to hit again. That's strategy says. 19. That's why. 18. And look, and you win. So Stearn from his loss column, +1, closes out the cycle for whatever gain it is. I'm not keeping track to that at that degree. You can if you'd like. All I know is he's winning, doing okay. Starting over, position 1. Insurance closed, of course. Not there. 7 hits, 14 hits, 16. Card counters probably wouldn't, but you will. 26, too many. 14 or 4. Anyways, that's another 10 hands. Trucking right along. That's 30. Position 2 for Stearn. 7 hits. 18, soft 18. Will stand, and I'll just make sure, yep, stands on both. So we flip, and 6, 11, 15, 16. I think the count is going in your favor. 16, 26. So Stearn, getting back from his loss column, he'll end up pressing that. So that's position 2 parlay for Stearn. $13 hits to a 9, as excuse me, as does 14. See how important this 8 is? This time it hurt you, or maybe the ace hurt you, but that was what you originally wanted. So that's a bust. 11. See, so what I did was you had that parlay in position 1. Was that your parlay in position 1? Oh boy, not. I think it was. I should have actually stacked it. Yeah. So, well, I can tell. Right. So, anyways, never mind what I was saying. That's just, you're down by 2, position 2 for Stearn. Pretty sure I got that right. If not, at least we're in the beginning of the cycle. Won't be too bad. 13 stands. 13, 20. Going to position 3 for Stearn. Still wager of 1 unit. 7 hits to a dealer 8. 13 hits again. 23. 19. Position 4 for Stearn. He now increases to 2 units. $17 will stand to a dealer 5. 8. 19. So this will become position 5 for Stearn. Still 2 units. I'll just quickly show it to you. Now it starts doubling every 2 hands, or every 2 losses, as you go down in the progression. So, position 5. We have enough hands where you hopefully will be able to get out of this progression before the end of the shoe. That is always a threat, and then a decision to be made. 14 hits is what, 15 hits again. Oh, too many. What to do if you end the shoe in the middle of a progression, especially on a negative progression. It's hard to walk away from being down so much, but maybe because you're up, otherwise you would start your shoe over. Anyways, position 6, wagering 4 now for Stearn. And that's what I think. If you're up, in your bankroll from whatever you bought in at, and you end a shoe, in the middle of a progression, just start over. Take any profit that you have left. So if you had 50 units, and so if you say you had 55 units, put that 5 units in your pocket and don't touch it, and then start the new shoe fresh. And 19 stands, 18. Now you can do it however you want. I'm going to put that there to help me remember. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Position 6 parlay. Maybe if I say it, I'll remember. See, that's what I'm doing. That's why I have these little stacks, because each of those represents one of the positions in the loss column. Position 6 parlay. Okay. Yeah, so if if the shoe ended now and you're way down, do you pick up the next shoe where you left off in the progression, you know, especially if your bankroll is down, you may want to do that. 13 hits, 23. Oh, see, this is why I keep this like this. Now I can bring them back. You can't see it, I don't think, and put them and unstack them and put them back in to show me I have 6 different losses back here, and that lets me know that now I go to position 7, which is also a wager of 4 units. So again, you got to figure out a way to keep track of that at the tables. I think a piece of paper and a pencil with an eraser, or not. You know, maybe you don't need an eraser if you, but I would try to use that at least. 16, 24. It's too many. 20. So again, we're getting down in the progression for Stearn. Now, this has been happening in the other shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is position 8. Let me just bring it up really quick. Position 8 is an 8-unit wager. Let me just slow down for a second to say it doesn't. I haven't been able to find anything of what to do when you get past level 9. If we get there, I'm going to keep doing what we've been doing, and I'm going to keep doubling every 2 hands. So we go 16, 16, 32, 32, 64, 64. Now the problem is, if you win one of the 64s, you cannot parlay the whole thing because it's a table max of 100 units. That hasn't happened yet. So we will just have to see. So when in the beginning I said you won't get to the table max, well, maybe you could. Now the other thing is that we're coming to the table because this is how I do it with 50 units or $250. Stearn says that you only need to come to the table with $165, which is 33 units, because the odds of getting on these bad losing streaks that end up busting you out is so low that it's nothing to worry about. And so that's just, you know, and they even say it's even so low you can just round it down to 150 that you can come to the table with. Of course, we're coming with more, and so that's where I feel like it's fine to keep doubling this because we came with more. I think, as I keep thinking about it, this is designed to come to the table with 165 units, and that at this point you would have busted out. So you would just call that a day, or call that a lost bankroll, which is going to happen. It'll happen in things like martingale and Fibonacci as well. Anyways, ours will just keep going. We came to the table with more. We're high rollers. All right. So this is position 8 or level 8 wager of 8 units, and we still have 40 about 40 units over there. So we're still in pretty good shape. Of course, it can start going fast now, but hopefully it won't. That is not an ace, so this is going to take a card. That's 20. That's nice. 17. So now we get back the last 2 losses of 4 right there, and Stearn will parlay this, and if he wins, he will close out his losing streak for a considerable gain, because that would be a wager of 16. Did I say that was the next 10 hands? That's 40 hands. I'll say it again. And right now he's only down 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's only down 8. So he would win. He would close out up 8 units or so. He also has this one here from the position 1 parlay loss. So anyways, I'm going to keep stacking him like this for my tracking, just in case we lose this. The casino is going to reach over, they're going to straighten them all out for you. And if you try to mess them up, they're going to straighten them out again. They won't like that. But for us, the pit boss isn't here, so we can do that. So this is position 8 parlay up against an ace. Insurance, tempting to insure these larger ones, but since you have to post half, you're just as likely to lose a larger half of amount. And it's not there, so you didn't need your insurance, but you do need to hit that 13, and there it is, the card that you need, the most important card in the game. 4, 14, 14, 19. Okay, so flat better. gets paid. And this was 8 plus 4 plus 4, it's 16, so let's just see how it goes. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, this is how your lost column goes back, and you had that parlayed in position 1 that you then lost, which is what got you into this sequence, plus another 8. Okay, so we stack all those up. We should be able to size it in. Everything should line up. Oh, beautiful. Okay, that was hand 41. So you did it. You got out of the cycle before the end of the shoe. You know, now you're up enough now that, you know, if you ended the cycle in the middle of the shoe, you know, you could do what I was saying before, position 1, and take off the top, pocket those. If you have some losses, just forget about them, and you know, start the next shoe. Of course, here you cannot start the next shoe. You will just tables closed, casinos closed. Thank you and good night. Ace check here. It's not there. Now here, Stearn does not double down an 11 to a 10. Basic strategy, however, does at this table, I think most of the time, does double down an 11 to a 10. Now, and this is one of the things where I was thinking, oh, I'm going to really get screwed up with my cards. But here's the thing. Well, okay, it's possible. An 11, let's say we pull a 2, you would have a 13, you would hit that again. And so that's where the flow of the cards is going to get messed up. Whereas if you double down, you only get 1. If you get a 2, you just have to suck it up and hope that your 13 holds. Okay? So let's just see. Hopefully it's a 10 and it's a non-issue. 9. See, you're not going to hit that. So our cards are not going to get messed up. That is a 20. Good thing you took it, of course. Hopefully there's not another one. And 17. And that's a whole bunch of talking for no net change. That's position 1 parlay for Stearn, which is why I have them stacked straight this time. Because if I offset it, that would tell me that was a position 2 somehow. Something like that. 19 will stand. 11, 21. Position 2 for Stearn. Monkey. There it is. Let's make sure it holds. It does. So how's it going to work for Stearn? He's down 2 in his loss column from his parlayed loss in position 1, so he's going to get back 1. He's going to get back a half a unit. He's still down 1 in his loss column. He's in position 2, so he takes. Hold on. Well, takes that off, and he's gonna press it, or he's gonna parlay it right there, right? Actually, right there. Because if he loses that, that comes off, and he goes to position 3. All right. See, it's even with my little tricks over here, I have trouble keeping track. So if you can, I don't know if you're going to be able to keep track in your head at the table while you're having free drinks. If you can, that's great. Back to back again. I need some change, please, sir. Okay, so now, again, for the flat better, time and a half. And Stearn gets back the 1 from his loss column, plus 1, plus the bonus, okay? And we made it. That was hand 45, 16 for the dealer on that. So we continue to get at least 45 hands out of a 6-deck shoe playing heads up against the dealer. But we keep going until we hit that cut card. Position 1. And yay, I didn't have to get the other deck. 17. That's a big deal when you're me and you got to line them up again. 12, 19. Position 2 for Stearn, single unit still. Am I going to give you another blackjack? Would you like one? Did you remember to tip me? No, you didn't? Oh, I'll have to give you something crappy then. There you go. See, you deserve that. Soft 15 to a dealer 5. Basic strategy, that is a double down. And of course, Stearn, you only double 9s, 10s, and 11s. Much more conservative. I think most of the time this has happened, it's actually turned out that the flat better has lost, and Stearn, by not doubling down, saved money. That's not always going to be the case. Now again, if this, probably not going to screw up the cards. If it's a 10, you have a 15 to a 5. You don't hit that. If you get a small card, you improve your hand. So, almost under no condition would you take another card off of here. Would you be compelled to take another card? Only like an ace. If you got a 2, you would have a soft 17, and you actually would hit that on Stearn. But let's just see. 15, see, you're not going to hit that. 8, 16, 21. See, again, Stearn saved money. Did I jinx it? Anyways, position 3 for Stearn. Just taking you through every step, showing you how it goes. Hey, there he is. Cut card. So it wouldn't have had to do very much to line things back up if it was needed. 12 stands to a 4, 10, 13, 23. So Stearn gets back 1 out of his loss column. He's still leaving 1 there here at the end of the shoe. Not a big deal, right? And he's obviously up. You would parlay that. If you wanted to start the next shoe, you would have to remember that you're down. You're in a position to parlay. You're down a single unit. But like I said, tables closed, casinos closed. Color up. Anyways, let's see how we ended up. Let's do the flat better first, because he did well. I can tell that, but Stearn did a lot better. So let's cash those out. A couple units there for 4 halves. And 10, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah. Come on, splash. That's 5s. So that's 35, 40, 45, 50 right there. That's your buy-in. Okay, so anything else, all profit, which there is 7. Okay, gain of 7. So that's a decent shoe. If this came out like, up or down 1, that would tell you that that was a break-even shoe. And if he was, say, down by 7, you would know that the cards weren't coming very well. All right, for Stearn. I'm going to cash those in. Make things a little neater here. Let's just do this. Oh, good. Nice and even. 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So right there, that is Stearn. That's the buy-in. And then these are stacks of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gain of 30 units for the Stearn. Over a gain of 7 units for the flat in 48 hands. 30 units at a $5 table, it's 150 bucks. Versus $35. So that's a significant gain or delta between the two. Again, they were good. It was a good shoe. Stearn really capitalized on that. But remember, Stearn also went pretty far down. What did we get to? Position 8 in the progression. Anyways, 48 hands plus 30 plus 7, right? And no departure from the shoe. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.